Hi, everyone, and welcome to Mather Park on the campus of Case Western Reserve University. Good Friday to everyone. And it is a blustery, warm Friday afternoon, or morning, about to turn afternoon, in northeastern Ohio. We are just about a minute away from it being afternoon here on the campus of Case Western Reserve University. You see the Spartans in the field warming up in their home whites, royal blue pants, the royal blue CWRU across their jersey top. They are the home team today in this University Athletic Association doubleheader against the Eagles from Emory, coming up from Atlanta, Georgia. My name's Ron Yantz, pleased to bring you today's broadcast. Emory's going to lead it off. And stepping into the batter's box for the Eagles to start today's top of the first is their senior center fielder, Ashley Chu. In the circle for Case Western, their senior pitcher, Dev Misra. Chu, the left-hander, and here comes the first pitch from Misra. It's called strike one. Defensively for Case Western, Ashley Miller, a sophomore in left field. Nyla Durham, a junior in center. Elena Steffes, a junior in right. The infield is next. Misra up in the count. No balls, one strike. Little pop up left field, and that's an easy out for Ashley Miller. So 2 pitches, 1 out for Dev Misra.
Now batting, number 7, Megan Sutton.
That infield for Case Western looks like this. At third base, the steady hand and powerful right arm of Biz Berry, the senior. Potts, the junior. Karen at shortstop. Natalie Ching, a first year, playing second base. And Kate Coonan, a sophomore at first. It's Sophia Beckler, a first year behind the plate. And here's Misra's third offering of the game. Little pop-up infield. It will fall. Tough play, and there is no play. That's an infield base hit for Megan Sutton.
Now batting, number 18, Allie.
That's hitting them where they ain't. So Sutton's on, 1 out, and that brings Ellie Zaire to the plate for Emory. Zaire, the DP today. She's a junior. Zaire on the season hitting .390. She's the third best hitter on this club. That's a tough, shallow ground ball that was a slow roller, but that rocket for the right arm of Karen Potts gets Zaire 6-3 across the infield. So 2 outs in the inning, and Sutton moves to second on the ground out. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Lillian Ware. Ware, a junior, she's a catcher. Lillian on the year leads the team in doubles with 5. Actually, there are 4 players that have hit 5 doubles for Emory so far this season in 24 games for the Eagles, and Zaire is one of them, or Ware is one of them. Lillian hitting .352 on the season. Misra with 2 outs, and Dev's 1-0 pitch is on the way. Dev Misra this year, in now her 15th appearance, has 5 wins and 2 losses. The 2-0 pitch is low, and it's 3-0. Misra's the veteran of the staff, for sure. She can throw the rise ball, will throw the curve and the changeup. She's looking for a strike right now. The 3-0 pitch underneath the hands, and it's strike 1. Dev has started now 12 games, and she's thrown 52 innings coming into this afternoon in the circle. The 3-1 pitch, 2 outs, runner at second, a check swing, but it's a called strike. The off-speed pitch by Misra gets the count full. Top of the first here from Mather Park. 2 scheduled games today. They're going to try to play 2 before the nasty weather moves in tonight. There's the 3-2 pitch. It's a swing and a miss on a strike 3, but that's a pitch that gets by the catcher, so runners at first and third.
Now batting number 5, Addison Kwong.
So that's unfortunate for Case Western. They need the outs when they can get them or when they have the opportunity. Don't have the dominating pitching this year that they've had over the last 4 years. So they'll rely on defense and pitching that is crafty. 2 outs. This is Addison Kwong at the plate for the Emory Eagles. The 1-0 pitch. No swing, 2 balls, no strikes. Misner trying to work out of a 2-out jam here in the top half of the first. Kwong's the right fielder for the Eagles. And it's a cold strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. It's Ware on at first base, the catcher. And Lillian on the year has not attempted a stolen base. Counts even now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The runner at third is Megan Sutton. She hit a little soft pop-up in the infield that fell in front of the charging second and shortstop. And there's a 2-out, 2-strike base hit. That's an important hit for Addison Kwong. So with 2 outs after a strike 3 that was missed, Kwong has a 2-strike base hit, and Emory's got a 1-0 lead. This is Ella Hoyle at the plate. Hoyle takes strike 1. Nice stop by the first-year catcher for Case Western. It's Sophia Becker, rather. Nyla Williams straight away, and it's over her head. That's going to score 2. A 2-out single with 2 on, play at the plate, and I was early saying it was going to score 2. What a relay. And out at the plate, trying to slide under the tag, is Addison Kwong, and that gets the Spartans out of the inning. Wow, what a relay from the outfield. 2-0. 2 runs on 3 hits. So the Spartans will come to bat in the bottom half of the first with some work to do. We'll be back.
Number 12, Karen Potts.
Bottom half of the first here for Case Western Reserve University. Spartans down 2-0 in the blink of an eye. Both of those runs in the top half of the first by Emory coming with 2 outs, and both of those runs coming after they had the 3rd out on a strikeout, swinging at the plate, Lillian Ware. But the pitch got by the Spartan catcher, and that led to eventually 2 runs. You can't give up outs. Potts at the plate. Karen will lead it off for Case Western. She's the shortstop, a junior. She has been rock steady in the Spartan lineup since she appeared as a first-year player here now 3 springs ago. Karen on the year, hitting .338 coming into today. That's second best on the team. 1-1 pitch is on the outside corner, called a ball. So 2 balls, 1 strike to Potts. In the circle for Emory is a first-year player, Sydney Thune. Thune Player of the Week in the University Athletic Association. And she just hit Potts on a 2-1 pitch.
Now batting number 5, Kate Coonan.
This is Kate Coonan stepping to the plate for Case Western. Coonan, a sophomore, playing first base. She also plays in the outfield. Last year she was an outfielder, but Bella Russo was anchored at first base as she had been for most of her career. First pitch is high, it's a ball. Potts is somebody to watch out for at first base as a base stealer. Karen leads the team this year. She's got 17 stolen bases in 21 games. She's been caught only once. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it's fouled back. Sydney Thune on the year. This is her 13th appearance in the circle for Emory. 4 wins, 2 losses. She's pitched 3 complete games. Her earned run average is 2.78. And the 1-1. Potts is running, and the throwdown's a little late, and Karen Potts is successful with her 18th stolen base. Swinging through the pitch was Coonan, so the count's 1-2 on the sophomore first baseman. Pop up, foul territory, first base side. Caught by the Emory second baseman, Shivani Nangia. And that's the first out of the inning.
Number 6, Biz Berry.
Biz Berry at the plate for Case Western Reserve University. Berry is finally a senior. And I say finally because it seems like Biz has been playing the hot corner, third base, for at least 8 years here at Case Western Reserve. She has been money in the bank ever since she stepped on the softball field. The 0-1 pitch inside. It's now 1-1. Berry on the year, hitting .271 in the 3-hole for head coach Josie Henry. Biz Berry leads the team this year in runs batted in. She's got 19 in the first 21 games. That one's fouled back. The count will even up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Spartans are 14-7 on the year. Emory's 15-9. The last time Case Western played was March 28th.
Please return it to ball retrieve point.
So it's been a few days.
On screen by the first base.
They were supposed to play Muskingum here, but because of the cold weather in Cleveland, they moved that game, and they played at Muskingum. It was 19 degrees here the weekend they were supposed to play here. Count's now full at 3-2, and Potts is running, and Potts is out! One umpire says safe, the other one says out. And they're going to settle with the umpire that said safe. So that's good news if you're a Spartan fan. So Potts will stay at third base. Well, that was fun. So the count's full. There's one out in the inning, and Karen Potts is at third base. Spartans are down 2-0. This is the bottom half of the first. Here comes the full count pitch, and that's a fly ball deep. Left field line, deep. Biz Berry has hit it out. That's a 2-run first inning home run for the senior Biz Berry. How about that? Biz Berry smoked that one. That got out in a hurry. Berry got a 3-2 pitch inside. She turned on it, and it was no doubt. It's 190 down the left field line here at Mather Park, and that one was at least, I don't know, maybe 10 feet above the fence as it lined out of the park for a 2-run shot for Berry. So it's 2-2 here in the bottom half of the first. 4 runs already. Haven't even had 6 outs. We've had 4 outs. 4 runs in. This is Ashley Miller at the plate. Miller, a sophomore. Counts even. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on. 2 runs in for Case Western. Miller, the left fielder in Josie Henry's lineup. Ashley flirting with a 300 batting average. She's hitting .288 on the year. That one right underneath her hands. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. Miller's got 17 hits in 21 games. 2-1 pitch. That's an easy pop-up for Emory's first baseman, and 2 outs in the inning. Ella Hoyle caught it. The senior at first base.
Number 8, Riley Williams.
That brings a sophomore, Riley Williams, to the plate. The Josie Henry lineup, if you look at it up and down, I mean, for 4 straight years, Josie was blessed with a talented veteran lineup, and this year it's a brand new lineup almost. I mean, a couple of mainstays have returned like Potts and Berry, but you've got junior, sophomore, junior, first year. You got a lot of, even the juniors, a couple of them haven't played a whole lot, so it's a fresh lineup. With 2 outs down that first baseline, we lost it, but I can tell you this, it was caught by the second baseman for Emory. So Shivani Nangia makes a nice catch. That wraps up the inning, but the Spartans, on the strength of a Biz Berry 2-run home run, have tied this game. We head to the top of the second, tied at 2.
Sports Medicine Institute, your leader for sports medicine care for all athletes from Pee Wee to Pro. For more information on UH Emory, number 12, Allie Stevenson.
This is Allie Stevenson at the plate for Emory. Top half of the second inning from Mather Park. And that's going to float into the glove of the first-year second baseman for Case Western, Natalie Ching. So 1 up, 1 pitch, 1 out.
Now batting, number 16, Shivani Nangia.
This brings up Shivani Nangia. Nangia, a sophomore second baseman for Emory. Nangia, the number 8 hitter in the India Childs lineup for Emory. India Childs in the third base coaching box, the leader of this Emory Eagles softball program. The 0-1 pitch, fouled back, no balls, 2 strikes. Off the end of the bat, and that's a tough spinner, and it was not played well by Ching. It's a tough one. That came off the end of the bat. It's got a lot of spin on it, and it just spun right out of Ching's glove. So that's an error on the second baseman, and it's a runner at first for Emory. And that brings up the number 9 hitter in the lineup, Shea Johnson. Johnson, the sophomore, left-handed hitting, number 9 hitter. Shea on the year for a 9-hole hitter is really hitting the ball well. She's hitting nearly 400. She's hitting 385. 15 hits and 39 at-bats. India Childs probably looks at Shea Johnson as a double leadoff spot. Johnson at the bottom of the order, and then you've got Ashley Chu coming up next. So those two combined, you got Johnson hitting 385 on the 9-hole, and then Chu leading the team at 427, leading off. That will be tough, but what a play. How about Misra stayed with it and got the speedy Johnson at first base. Well, Shea Johnson can get down that first base line. Real nice play by Dev Misra. That's the second out of the inning. Top of the order in Ashley Chu. Chu led off the game with a soft fly ball to shallow left field. And that's exactly where Ashley Miller is right now, shallow left field. Chu leads Emory in a lot offensively. Leads them in at-bats with now her 84th. Leads them in hits with 35. Leads them in stolen bases with 8. Does everything that you would hope a leadoff hitter would do. Hits left-handed, is a threat to bunt. She was a first-team All-UAA player a year ago. And the 2-1 pitch is low. The throw back to second is close, but 3 balls, 1 strike on Chu. Waiting in the on-deck circle, Megan Sutton. Emory had 3 hits in that first inning. Sutton had 1 of them. And the count is now full at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Case Western got 2 outs real quick in that first inning. Had the 3rd out on a strikeout of Lillian Ware. Ball got past the Spartan catcher, and that just turned into chaos for Case Western. 2 runs happened after that. Little fly ball, going to be a tough play. Diving, catching it. What a play in left field by Ashley Miller. How about that? Miller on the sinking line drive, dives and catches it, and the Spartans are out of the inning. We head to the bottom of the second, tied at 2.
Holiday Inn Cleveland Clinic, BSN Sports,
I just don't want my students to get in trouble.
What a play by Ashley Miller to end that inning.
leading off the bottom of the second inning for your Spartans. Number 9.
Elena Steffes will lead it off for Case Western. Steffes in right field today. It's Sydney Thune in the circle for Emory. Thune, first-year player from Charlotte, North Carolina. Very talented pitcher for this Emory team. Emory's got a couple of good young pitchers. Thune's first offering is right down Main Street at strike 1. Steffes on the year, 9 hits and 41 at-bats. Of those 9, 3 of them are for extra bases. Counts even, 1 ball, 1 strike. She's hit 1 double, and Elena has hit 2 home runs this year. And if you look at the landscape of the team, home run-wise, Karen Potts leads the Spartans with 4. And then Cameron McClelland has 2, and Elena Steffes has 2. And those are the 8 home runs that the Spartans have hit this year. So Steffes is a threat to hit it over the fence. And the count's now in her favor, 2 balls, 1 strike. That one had to be tough to lay off. Steffes laid off it, and it's ball 3. You know, in the big leagues this year, you can challenge the call, and the technology has allowed it to be such that you get an answer immediately. That one might have been one that Thune would have thought about challenging. Ball 4, and the leadoff hitter is on board for Case Western. You know, technology has found its way into the Division III level this year. All of Josie Henry's signals are done digitally through she has a phone that sends a signal to watches that all of her players wear. So when she wants a pitch, fastball, high and inside, she sends that through her phone, and on the watch that all the players wear, they get it automatically. They know what pitch is coming. The catcher knows what pitch to call. In this situation right here, she'll tell the batter, we're going to bunt, we're going to hit. She'll tell the runner, we're going to steal or not. Everybody's checking their phone, or not their phone, their watch, their digital watch. You can see Coach Henry right now just punching it right into her phone in the third base box. The game has changed. Technology has arrived here at Mather Park. The 0-1 pitch. Runner running, and a slide, the steal, and safe at second base is Case Western's pinch runner. Running for Case Western, I missed as I was telling the technology story, Sierra Ejercito is running at second base. She'll head back to second as that pop-up goes straight away center field. Bringing it in is Ashley Chu, and out is Natalie Ching. So Edgercito is the runner at second. Steffes led off the inning with a walk. And here's the catcher for Case Western, Sophia Becker. Becker takes a fastball high and inside for strike one. Spartans trying to take the lead here in the bottom half of the second. Both teams scored 2 runs in that first inning. Becker on the year has been to the plate 49 times and has 9 hits, hitting 184 on the season. Her value has been on the defensive end. And that pitch is going to go to the backstop, and the Spartans are going to have a runner in scoring position for Becker. So Edgercito goes to third on the wild pitch, and suddenly Sophia Becker is in an RBI situation. I asked Coach Henry, does it take more time to put the, whatever call, whatever signal, whatever she wants to do into the phone, as opposed to standing there and going through a bunch of signs physically, indicator followed by, and all the other mystery that you do? And she said no. She says it's quicker. She says within seconds, like within a second. She doesn't type in a word. She hits a number on the phone that correlates with a word like bunt or take. And that one's behind the catcher. There's going to be a play at the plate. Slide safe. Edgercito with a heads-up run on a pass ball, and the Spartans are up 3-2. So Sophia Becker can relax and sit on a full count pitch now. The run is in. It's been a rough inning so far for Sydney Thune and Lillian Ware, her catcher. That's a strikeout, but Steffes walked, went to second on a wild pitch, or went to third on a wild pitch. Edgercito, the pinch runner, did, and then scored on a pass ball. So 2 outs, Becker goes down with a strikeout, and that brings Nyla Durham, the number 9 hitter, to the plate. Durham very much like Shea Johnson for Emory. Johnson, the number 9 hitter, solid hitter. Nyla Durham, the same situation for Josie Henry. Solid hitter with speed in the 9-hole. Nyla, a junior. As a first-year player, she was a starter on a team that was loaded, on a team that was in the midst of 3 straight UAA championships, a College World Series berth, full of veteran players, and Nyla Durham broke the starting lineup as a first-year player, played in right field. Through graduation, she has now moved over to center, so she's the anchor of that outfield. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs on Durham. Shows bunt, drops it, and that one's going to be left foul, but you could see the speed. There was no chance at getting Durham if that ball stays in play. Even with Emory in her kitchen, Megan Sutton so deep down that third baseline that she's on it quickly. Now she won't. She'll back off with 2 strikes on Durham. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Spartans up a run, 3-2. We're in the bottom half of the second. 2 games today scheduled here at Mather Park. There's weather moving in, but it's not expected to move in till tonight, like in the darkness of the night. Got a single game tomorrow, and Joel Eckert, the operations manager, the associate athletic director here, said that there's a window tomorrow between 10 and 4. They think they can get that game in. It has been a very wet start to the spring here in northeastern Ohio. Easter Sunday is supposed to be rainy. Saturday night, rainy. This week it has rained so much that the rivers all across northeastern Ohio have flooded over the banks. Most of the metro parks are closed because the rivers are so high. But look at this field. It is in beautiful shape. Joel Eckert and his crew do a great job of keeping this thing tip-top shape. Nyla Durham, foul ball down the, nope, caught. That one blew back in. I thought that one was going out of play, but it blows back in, and that's enough for the third out of the inning. That was Shea Johnson out there, the sophomore, staying with it. And we head to the top of the third. Spartans got to run. They take the lead. It's 3-2. A defensive change, Sierra Ejercito, who came in and pinch ran for Elena Steffes and scored the go-ahead run in the bottom half of the second, remains in the game, and she's in right field. Top half of the third, the number 2 hitter, Megan Sutton, will lead off this inning for Emory. Dev Misra in the circle. Misra out of Aldie, Virginia. Starts off Sutton with strike 1. Dev's a double major here at Case Western in political science and finance. Counts even, 1 ball and a strike. In her career here at Case, she's got 7 career wins coming into, well, she had 2 career wins coming into this year. She's got 5 so far this year, so she's got 7. 7 career wins, 3 losses. Soft ground ball, that's Ching at second. Quick play, bang, bang at first, and that's the first out of the inning.
Now batting, number 18, Ellie Zaire.
So Sutton's out 4-3. And Natalie Ching at second base has gotten a lot of action. And most of them have been Emory Eagles that are off balance, way out on their front foot, fooled by a pitch by Misra, and hitting that ball at the end of their barrel on their bat. This is Ellie Zaire. Zaire 0 for 1 today, grounded out to Karen Potts at shortstop in her first at bat. Spartans up 3-2. We're in the top half of the third. Misra shaking off her freshman catcher, Sophia Becker. And again, Becker's looking at Josie Henry. Josie will punch in a code into the phone, and on the wrists of all the players, they'll know exactly what pitch is coming. So if you're Nyla Durham in center field, you know that you can just check your wrist right now, and you know that the location and the velocity of this next pitch, whether it's going to be high and inside, off speed, over the plate for strike 2. Actually, strike 1, 2 balls, 1 strike. If you look out on the field, you can see on the left wrist of every player a black band, and that's the technology that they're in touch with their coaching staff on every pitch. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Top half of the third. Here comes the full count pitch. And rolling over, Biz Berry across the field with that rocket attached to her right shoulder, and there are now 2 outs in the inning. So Misra got Zaire, the number 3 hole hitter, to roll over on a off-speed pitch, and there are 2 outs in the inning.
Number 3, Lillian Ware.
That brings up the cleanup hitter, Lillian Ware. Ware out of Wildwood, Missouri. She played her high school softball at Lafayette Senior High School. Lillian, a junior, has pretty much started every game since her first year. Started 38 of 39 in her first year. Started 38 of 39 a year ago as a sophomore. And back behind the plate again this year. And hitting cleanup. Two 2-1 pitch. Soft ground ball. Barry's going to have to hurry. And Biz does. Wears out 5-3. And the Spartans head to the dugout. Bottom of the third is next. Case Western up a run. It's 3-2.
Are you going down for Dingus Day on Monday?
Want to give out a shout out to the press box today. A lot of work going on up here to bring you this broadcast. We'll start with the Hall of Famer, the public address announcer.
Leading off,
You can hear his voice right now.
For your Spartans, number 12, Aaron Hott.
That's Otto Penica. Working the scoreboard today is Carson Marachka. Carson from the athletic department. Next to me, producing the video feed, is a first-year political science major, the legend himself, Aziz. I love to say his name. We should have Aziz as a part of every broadcast just so I can say his name. And then playing the music, although I don't think she chooses the music. Gwen, do you choose the music? No, she does not choose the music. She just plays it. Gwen Furlish, correct? So you got Gwen playing music, you got Otto talking, You got Aziz making sure the video looks good. Carson making sure the scoreboard's tight. Fast Eddie Karakis, the sports information director. And then me. A lot going on here. Earlier, Joel Eckert was talking about tomorrow morning if Otto Pennica can stop at everybody's favorite donut shop and bring donuts for everybody. So we're hoping that we've got nice donuts tomorrow morning. Because if we do have to sit through a rain delay, at least we'll be fed well. Counts 2 balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter, Karen Potts. Spartans up 3-2. We're in the bottom half of the third. I just looked behind me. Director of Athletics, T.J. Shelton, is in the box as well. T.J. heard donuts and a smile on his face immediately. T.J. and I have had breakfast together on several occasions, and he's always eaten very healthy. So it will be a sight tomorrow if he's up here shoveling donuts. Potts staying alive as the leadoff hitter in the bottom half of the third. Karen's done just about everything a player can do, now in her third year here at Case Western Reserve. As a first year, she hit .419. Let me repeat that. As a first-year player, she hit .419, straight out of high school. Fouls it off. Hit .356 her sophomore year, .338 so far this year, coming into today's 22nd game of the season. That first year, I mean, she was up for Freshman Player of the Year. I think she was like a finalist. That first year, she hit .419. She had 16 doubles, 8 home runs, 37 runs batted in 49 games. Slugging percentage that year was .681. I think I'm correct to say that she leads the team in walks most every year. That one will not sneak through the infield, and Potts is out at first base. A real good at bat. A nice play by Shivani Nangia, the sophomore second baseman for Emory. So Potts is down 4-3. Kate Coonan steps to the plate. Coonan, the sophomore, at her first at bat, had a soft little pop-up to second base for the first out of the inning. Kate from Chicago. High school softball at Whitney M. Young High School. Pop-up, infield, and it's over the backstop. So when Kate came to campus a year ago as a first-year player, she again came into a veteran lineup and found a way to start 34 games in the outfield. Played in 42 of the games, started 34 of them. And this year she's a full-time starter, locked in at first base. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. The count on Coonan. We're in the bottom half of the third. The Spartans with a 3-2 lead. 2 games today here at Mather Park. And that's a perfectly placed pitch under the hands of Kate Coonan.
Now batting number 6 is Berry.
That is the 3rd strikeout for Sydney Thune. Check that. Thune's got 2 strikeouts. Got 2 strikeouts. She's hit a batter and she's walked a batter. Not a lot of strikeouts in this game. Misra for Case Western has struck out just one. And that strikeout ended up on first base and ended up the second run of the first inning. Two outs for Thune. Sydney in the circle. This is by far the most relaxing inning for her. She gave up 2 runs in the first inning on a Bisberry 2-run home run, a laser beam over the left field wall. And then in the second, she walked the leadoff hitter, Elena Steffes, then threw a wild pitch that a pass ball brought Ejercito, who was running for Steffes, home. So this is easy here in the bottom half of the third. Nobody on, 2 outs, and a strike on the number 3 hitter, Bisberry. That was an off-speed pitch that Berry was well out in front of. Another one that Biz thought about and then let it go. Counts 3-1. Biz leads the team with 21 RBIs this year. She hit her first home run of the season 2 innings ago. She was on top of that one. Counts now full. Biz hit that home run like she has hit 10 or 15 this year. It was smoked. But it was only her first. Bisberry's gift to this team now in her 4th year has been her defensive play at third base. I mean, first year here on campus, she was locked in on the hot spot and has never let it go. And that's a walk, a well-earned walk.
Now batting, number 22, Ashley Miller.
Miller, the cleanup hitter today. This Emory team, and Case Western Reserve for that matter, were both in the top 25 a week ago, and both have dropped out. Both of them have played rugged schedules. If you look at the teams in the top 25 in the country and you look at the teams that these two teams have played, St. Mary's ranked number 4. Emory played them, lost 4-3. East Texas Baptist University, ranked number 6. Emory played them, lost 4-0. Number 9, Berry. Emory played, split a doubleheader in Atlanta in February. Wash U, number 11 in the country. Case Western has taken 2 of 3 from in the UAA season series. They went to St. Louis a couple of weeks ago and took 2 of 3 from the Bears. Wash U ranked 11th in the country. Emory won't see Wash U until the end of the season. End of the regular season, May 8th and May 9th, and that will be in Atlanta. And then the Spartans played Rowan back in the middle of March in February, or in Florida, and lost 6-5. Rowan's ranked 14th in the country. They played Belhaven, Case Western did, in that same Florida tournament in the middle of March, lost 9-5. There's a pop-up, left field line foul, and we'll do it all over again. And Mount Union ranked 24th in the country. The Spartans were supposed to play them in a doubleheader here. That was postponed because Mount Union had missed a lot of conference games already, and they needed the nice weather day to make up some conference games. So hopefully that one's going to be made up. Emory played Mount this year in the Leadoff Classic and lost 4-3. And then Muskingum, who Case Western split with a week ago, is ranked 25th in the country. So these two teams that you're watching today have played 8 of the top 25 teams in the country so far. So they may have dropped out of the top 25, but they are formidable in their own right for certain. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom half of the third. Ashley Miller got a pitch she liked. Miller on the year, number 4 on the team, hitting this year at 288, hitting in the 4-hole. Ashley in her first at bat popped up to first base. How many pitches in this at bat? 8 pitches in this at bat, Fast Eddie Karakas. Fast Eddie's like the digital technology in the Major League Baseball game this year, where you want to challenge a pitch, you find out immediately. I mean, there's no waiting around. You find out immediately. It's a strike or it's a ball. It's like asking Fast Eddie a question. You find out immediately your answer. And there's a low fastball taken for strike 3. So 3 innings in the books. Top of the 4th is next. Spartans up a run. It's 3-2. This is Addison Kwong leading off the top half of the 4th inning for the Eagles of Emory. And Kwong with a line drive right field, and it's caught. Ejercito out there for Case Western, tracking that line drive down, making a nice play. Sierra Ejercito. Sierra plays the corners of the outfield this year for Josie Henry. You can see her in left field sometimes too. Nyla Durham in center field is the anchor. This is Ella Hoyle at the plate. Hoyle had a base hit for a run batted in. Biz Berry's going to eat her up, and that's the second out of the inning. I said when we went to break 2 innings ago, I said to Aziz and Fast Eddie, because they're on my left and right, that I love watching Biz Berry throw the ball across the diamond. And you just saw another example of that. You need a corner infielder, a third baseman, who's got a rocket attached to their right shoulder, because especially in softball, I mean, it's 60 feet from home plate to first base, whereas in baseball it's 90 feet. So you've got limited time to get that ball out of your glove and across the field. And when you throw a left-handed batter in there, it's even a shorter amount of time, but Bisberry makes the play every time. If they gave gold gloves, they do give gold gloves. Has Barry ever been a finalist? Boy, she should have been. I'm talking to Fast Eddie Karakas, the sports information director. She has been rock solid. The 2-0 pitch from Misra. And that's on the inside corner. That's strike 1. 2 outs in the inning. Kwong lined out to right, and Ella Hoyle hit a ground ball to Barry at third. This is Allie Stevenson, and Allie popped up to Case Western Reserve second baseman Natalie Ching in her first at bat. Mizer's ready. Looks into Becker, and here comes the 3-1 pitch. Line drive, center field. Durham almost got it. Goes to the wall. Nyla plays it well. And in with a 2-out double is Allie Stevenson. Nyla Durham almost got that.
Number 16, Shivani.
That would have been a highlight that Fast Eddie Karakas would have cut and posted on social media. I think we got a couple of those so far. Got the 2-run home run by Biz Berry, and then we got that great play in left field by Ashley Miller. There's another gap shot. Durham on her horse. Almost got it. Nyla diving at the wall, and back-to-back two-out doubles. Make it a triple. No, out at third base. Run will count, but great relay from Durham to Potts, and the inning is in the books. That's a double by Shivani Nangia. Scored Allie Stevenson. Shivani tried to get to third on it and got thrown out. But two big doubles with two outs for Emory. And they've tied this game at 3. We head to the bottom of the 4th. All right, we're back to even here at Mather Park. 3 runs for Emory, 3 runs for the Spartans of Case Western Reserve. The Eagles scored 2 in the first, and they scored them with 2 outs. And then they've added a single run in the top half of the 4th. They scored that one with 2 outs. So all 3 of their runs have been scored with 2 outs. Leading off the inning for Case Western is their sophomore DP today, Riley Williams. Williams at her first at bat popped up to second base. Case Western still has just 1 hit in the game. Sydney Thune, the first-year pitcher in the circle, has been marvelous, and her only mistake has been a 2-run home run in the first inning to Biz Berry. That's the only hit she's given up. She's walked a couple, had a pass ball, wild pitch. Those things have hurt her. But she has been masterful. And there's a pop-up in the infield. Shortstop settling under it. That's Allie Stevenson, and there's 1 out in the inning. Sierra Ejercito will come to the plate. Ejercito pinch ran for Elena Steffes in the second inning. Steffes got on a walk. Ejercito ran for her, stole second base, got to third on a wild pitch, and then scored on a pass ball. Sierra on the year has been to the plate only 10 times. This is her 11th at bat. She's got 2 hits. But as a pinch runner this year, she has stolen 17 bases in 18 tries. So if you can get her on, she will get herself in scoring position. Her 17 stolen bases are second on the team, only to an everyday regular, Karen Potts. Oh-2 pitch just outside, counts now 1-2. Emory started the year. They won 5 straight. And then they were in that rugged early season tournament down in Georgia, and they lost 6 in a row. Counts now even, 2-2. The Spartans, kind of similar. They started out 9-1. And then in their last 11, they're 5-6. Josie Henry was telling me. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Ejercito has worked the count full. She was down 0-2 in the blink of an eye, but now it's full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. After her will be Natalie Ching. She's in the on-deck circle. And here comes the 3-2 pitch. Good work by Sydney Thune.
Now batting.
Real good at bat by Ejercito, but it ends in a strikeout. So 2 out in the inning for Natalie Ching. How about the pressure on Ching this year? She's taken over at second base for future Hall of Famer, I think, and Kai Gross. I don't think I'm exaggerating to call Gross a future Hall of Famer because she set an awful lot of records in her time here at Case Western Reserve. So Ching steps into the shoes of Kai Gross and is doing a real nice job. Ching, fly ball, deep left center field, off the wall. And with 2 outs, Ching, the second baseman, is standing at second base. That is a double for the first-year second baseman.
Now batting, number 10, Sophia Becker.
For Ching, that was her 3rd double. She came into that at bat with 13 hits, 4 of which were for extra bases. Now she's got 14 hits, 3 doubles and 2 triples. Deep ball, Becker. This one's going to stay in the park. Left field, not moving much, was Shea Johnson, and the inning's over. So the Spartans get a runner at second with 2 outs, but the inning ends there. We head to the top half of the 5th. This game is tied at 3. Shea Johnson caught the final out of the bottom half of the 4th for Emory. She leads off the top half of the 5th for the Eagles. Johnson, the left-handed hitter, number 9 hitter. He had a comebacker to Misra in the circle in her first at bat. It was a tough play for Misra because it was bobbled a little bit. And Johnson, out of the left-hand side of that batter's box, really got down the line. It was bang-bang at first base. But Dev stayed with it and made a real nice play. And the count's 0-2 on Shea Johnson. Misra has scattered 5 hits and given up 3 runs here now in the top half of the 5th. And there's strike 3. And there's an out at first base. Nice play behind the plate by the first-year catcher, Sophia Becker.
Now batting, number 1, Ashley Chu.
Brings Ashley Chu to the plate. Chu, the leadoff hitter. 0 for 2 today. Both of Chu's at-bats have ended in outs in the glove of Ashley Miller, the Spartan left fielder. And the last time Miller laid out for one, and it's a highlight reel. So Ashley would like to hit it anywhere other than left field in this at bat. That's a called strike. Counts even, 1 ball and a strike. Misra now in the 5th inning. This is the 3rd time that Ashley Chu has seen her. So we'll start in this inning in these at-bats with 3 players, or 3 times that the batters have seen Misra. And the Spartans have Laura Mioli warming up in the bullpen right now. That's a beautiful bunt by Ashley Chu. So Chu with a 1-out base hit. And that brings the number 2 hole hitter, Megan Sutton, to the plate. Sutton, 1 of 2, had a base hit, infield hit in the 1st inning and scored the 1st run of the game. As I said, Mioli is warming up in the bullpen right now for the Spartans. Line drive, Potts with a dive, catch, and no play at first base. Potts with a real nice play. She's as athletic as they come. Potts, if you don't know, has been what's it called, Eddie? The Ninja Warrior competition, the national competition. Karen's been on national TV. I mean, she is not only a competitor in that competition, but one of the best ones. So making that play was easy money for her. Two outs, Choose at first base. This is Ellie Zaire at the plate. Zaire, the number 3 hitter. Counts even, 1 ball and a strike. Zaire, in her first at bat, grounded out to shortstop and then hit a ground ball to Biz Berry in her 2nd at bat. There's a soft little pop fly that is going to fall to nobody. It's a base hit. So again, with 2 outs, that has been the theme of Emory. Every inning they've scored, they've done it with 2 outs. And they've got a runner in scoring position in the leadoff hitter, Chu, at 2nd base right now. For the number 4 hitter, Lillian Ware. This is Ware, the catcher. First pitch, strike 1. Ware a year ago hit .343. Looks at a low pitch. It's called for a ball. Lillian this year is hitting .352. The 1-1 pitch. Just outside. It's 2 balls and a strike. Miz are trying to work out a 2-out jam. Off the fist, fly ball, tough one, and it will fall for a base hit. And again, Emory's done it with 2 outs. So Ware with a little soft, just a bunny floater. It fell in front of Miller and over the shoulder of Potts. They ran into each other. Ashley is picking up the pieces right now. I mean, literally picking something up off the ground. I don't know if she was wearing glasses or Coach Henry's going out to take a look at her. Potts gives her the thumbs up. So Emory takes the lead. Chu scored. Not out of it yet. Zare went to third. And Ware is at second base. So for Addison Kwong,
Now batting, number 5, Addison Kwong.
there are 2 runners in scoring position. And that will be it for Dev Misra. Boy, what a nice game Dev pitched.
30, 3-0.
So she'll get a well-earned round of applause from the home fans, and her afternoon, at least in game 1, will be done. And now coming into pitch for Case Western is Josephine Alspaw. Alspaw this year, this will be her 17th appearance. She leads the team in appearances. She's pitched in 16 games before just now, only started 2. Most of her appearances come out of the bullpen like right now. She has just 32 innings pitched, so in 16 appearances, she's averaging just 2 innings every time she comes in. But she's been good. 3 wins, 2 losses, 3.28 earned run average. She's in a tough spot here with 2 runners on and 2 outs, both in scoring position in a 1-run game.
For Case Western Reserve, number 30, Josephine Alspaw. Once again, now batting for Emory.
So Sophia Becker, the catcher, comes out in front of the plate, lets the infield know there are 2 outs. There have been 2 outs for now the 3rd batter. Emory has made their money in this situation. They have not missed an opportunity with 2 outs. Every run they've scored has come with 2 outs. Here's the first pitch from Alspaw. Addison Kwong on the day, 1 for 2. She lined out to right field in her last at bat, the first out of the 4th inning, and then she had a run batted in that 2-run first inning. Had a base hit up the middle with 2 outs. Ground ball right back at the pitcher. This is going to be a tough play, and it will go for an infield base hit, and another run scores. Well, hitting it hard was Kwong. Went right off the body of Alspaw, and that's an infield base hit. And the 2nd run batted in of the day for Addison Kwong. This will be Ella Hoyle, who will come to the plate for Emory.
36 is running at third.
And Olivia Kohler will run at 3rd base.
Your attention, please. Now running at 3rd base for Emory, number 36, Olivia Kohler. Once again, now batting for Emory, number 20.
So 2 runs in the inning, all with 2 outs, and it's a 2-run lead for Emory, 5-3. Here's Hoyle, who's 1 for 2 with an RBI herself so far. That's strike 1. Keeping it in front of her, doing a nice job behind the plate, saving a run was Becker. Emory now, though, with 2 runners in scoring position. This inning is 1 hit away from a nightmare right now for Case Western. Becker, a nice job, drop and block. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners in, and 2 runners on, and a 2-run lead for Emory. And there's strike 3. That's a big, big out. Strikeout for Allspaw, and the inning's in the books. But Emory scores 2. They take a 2-run lead. It's 5-3 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. We head to the bottom half of the 5th. Leading off for Case Western Reserve will be Nyla Durham.
16, Nyla Durham.
Durham flew out to left in her first at bat. That ended the 2nd inning. Spartans are down 5-3 to the Eagles. Here in the bottom half of the 5th. Game 1 of 2 today from Mather Park. And the first pitch from Sidney Thune is a strike on the inside part of the plate. Thune so far has given up just 2 hits. One of those, a 2-run home run to Biz Berry in the first inning. Counts even, ball and a strike. She's hit a batter. She's walked 2 and struck out 3. Sidney Thune, the first-year pitcher for Emory. 4-2 coming into today, earned run average of 2.78. Durham pops it back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nyla liked that pitch. In her first at bat, she hit a couple of smoke jobs down that left field line that were foul, but she got after it. You don't think of Durham as a power hitter ever, really. I mean, she's a base hit, bunt type hitter with speed. Durham lifts one to left field. This one's easy money for Shea Johnson.
Now batting, number 12, Karen Potts.
Top of the order for Case Western. And they need to make a couple of moves here. They need to string some hits together. Potts on the day, got hit by a pitch in the first inning, stole a base and scored a run, and then grounded out to second in the third. That is a called strike. Karen on the year leads this team with 10 walks. Second on the team with 23 hits. Shows bunt, drops a bunt down. That's going to be a tough one, and Potts is safe at first. That's an infield hit. Played well by Emory, but Potts with a nice bunt and out of the left side of the box with a head start. That's just a tough out to make. That brings Kate Coonan to the plate. And immediately, if you're the catcher, Lillian Ware, you're thinking about Karen Potts at first base. Potts stole a base in the first inning. That led to a run. She has stolen 18 of 19 on the season. Coonan swinging and fouling one off. Kate, so far today, popped up to second in the first inning and struck out swinging in the third. There's one out in the inning. And the Spartans need to string some hits together. No balls, one strike. Here we go. Bunt in front of the plate. Again, tough play at first, and they're going to say the batter's out. They're going to say that Kate Coonan got hit with the ball out of the box on the bunt, and she is out, and Potts is going to come all the way back to first base. That was going to work out great for Case Western because Coonan was going to be safe at first, and Potts was going to end up at third. And you would have had runners at first and third with one out, but that is not the case. So Barry's up, and I got to believe you're going to see Potts running. If not this pitch, the next one. Because with two outs, they need to take a chance, get her in scoring position to try to cut this lead in half. One ball, no strikes. Here comes the pitch from Sydney Thune, and there goes Potts. Throw down, it's a good one, and Potts is out at second base. Man, that is a rare sight. Karen Potts getting thrown out. She had stolen 18 of 19 and then thrown out there by Lillian Ware. So the inning's over, and we go to the top of the sixth. It's Emory with the 2-run lead. Number 12, Allie Stevenson, stepping to the plate for Emory, the first-year shortstop for the Eagles. Allie 1 for 2 so far this afternoon, had a double, scored a run in her last at-bat. Josephine Allspaw in the circle for Case Western. She came in relief of Dev Misra with 2 outs in the 5th inning. Josephine played at Lafayette High School in Wildwood, Missouri. And her catcher was Lillian Ware. Ware is the catcher for Emory today. Lillian Ware is hitting in the number 4 hole. So if there's an opportunity, it probably wouldn't come till the 7th inning that you'd see two high school teammates matching up against each other. 3 balls, 1 strike to the leadoff hitter, Allie Stevenson. Stevenson, a first-year player for Emory. She's from California, El Segundo, California. She was a multi-sport star in high school, volleyball, flag football, and softball. As a matter of fact, she was so good in so many sports, she was the female athlete of the year at her high school her senior season. 3-2 pitch, it's a beauty. What a pitch. Absolutely froze Allie Stevenson at the plate, and that's a changeup from Allspaw that her pitching coach would be proud of. Shivani Nangia at the plate for Emory. Shivani 1 for 2 today. She has been on base both at bats. She reached on an error in her first at bat and then hit a double and scored a run in her second at bat.
Now batting, number 9, Shay Johnson.
Ron had to step away for a quick second as that's called strike 3 for the second out of the inning. Back-to-back strikeouts for Josephine Alspaw. First pitch swung over to Barry. Tough play, and that'll be an infield hit for Shay Johnson. So Johnson on with 2 outs here in the bottom, atop of the 6th inning. That makes now all 9 batters in the Emory lineup with a base hit in this game. Top of the order for Emory, Ashley Chu. Chu 1 for 3, singled and scored in the 5th, and a pair of flyouts in the 1st and 2nd inning. All 5 Emory runs today have come with 2 outs. Pitch outside, runner will take second. So stolen base there for Johnson. For the first year, that is her 7th of the season. 7 for 7 this year on the base paths. So a 1-0 count on Chu, another runner in scoring position.
Counts 1-1 on Chu. 2 outs in the inning. Runner again in scoring position. This is Potts. And the throw back got the runner. How about Karen Potts? That is a heads-up play because you had Chu, the leadoff hitter, out of the left side of the box, who's wicked fast. And Potts chose to throw behind the runner and got the 3rd out of the inning. That's the first time this game that Emory has had a runner in scoring position with 2 outs and not scored the runner. And that's good news for Case Western Reserve. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Game remains 5-3 Eagles.
sixth inning for your Spartans. Number 6, Biz Berry.
An absolutely beautiful sun-splashed afternoon here in northeastern Ohio. We're in the bottom half of the sixth. Spartans down 2 runs to the Eagles of Emory. Emory 5-1 this year in the University Athletic Association. They have been the benefactor of good weather. The Spartans, on the flip side, have played only 3 games in league play, so they've played half of the games that Emory has played. And all 3 of those games were on the road. They were in St. Louis they played WashU here. So they were here. I'm sorry. But that's been it. They'll play 3 this weekend against the Eagles if the weather holds later today and tomorrow. Counts now 1 ball, 2 strikes on Biz Berry. Berry's had the biggest hit of the afternoon for Case Western. That came in the first inning. It was a 2-out, 2-run home run. Actually, a 1-out, 2-run home run. It was 2 strikes on Berry when she hit it. Counts now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Biz walked in her second at bat. Stayed with the off-speed pitch. Tough play, and caught! What a play! Shivani Nangia running with almost her back to the ball. Had it hang on the tip of the web of her glove and brought it in. That deserves a high five, and she gets one from her shortstop, Allie Stevenson. That's a heck of a play right there. Everything's going Emory's way right now. Spartans have 5 more outs to change that narrative. They're down 2. We're in the bottom of the 6th. There's 1 out. And this is Ashley Miller at the plate for Case Western Reserve. Miller today, the sophomore left fielder, 0 for 2. Popped up in the infield and was caught looking at a called third strike in her last at bat. Pop up infield. Shortstop settling under it, calls for it, and that's 2 outs. Allie Stevenson catches the Ashley Miller pop up.
Riley Williams.
Riley Miller at the plate. Riley looking for her first hit. 0 for 2, 2 pop-ups in the infield. Pop up to second in the first inning and popped up to the shortstop in the 4th. Spartans have just 3 hits overall, so there are a lot of Case Western Reserve players looking for their first hit. Berry's got a hit, a 2-run homer. Potts has an infield single. And then the 3rd hit was the Natalie Ching double in the 4th inning. That has been it. One ball, 2 strikes to Riley Williams. Thune went to high school at Charlotte Latin in North Carolina. And there's a foul tip. Staying alive is Riley Williams. a year ago as a senior at Charlotte Latin. She helped her team to a state runner-up finish. She was a three-sport star in high school as well: volleyball, basketball, and, of course, softball. And there's strike three. She is in control right now. We head to the seventh inning, and it's Emory with a 2-run lead. Megan Sutton will lead off the top half of the seventh inning here at Mather Park for Emory. And first pitch swinging, that's Nyla Durham in straightaway center. Boy, if you look at what the Spartans pitchers have done today, they've given up 10 hits, but they scattered those 10 hits. They have not walked a batter, and that's Dev Misbra and their current pitcher in there right now for Case Western, Josephine Allspaw. No walks, scattered 10 hits. Emory's runs have all come with 2 outs. So you got to credit Emory for just being clutch when they needed to be. The Spartans have kept them off balance, but Emory has answered in every clutch situation. Allspaw came in the top half of the fifth with 2 outs. Gave up a base hit that was hit right back to her. It was a smoke shot that bounced off her shin and then struck out a batter. She actually struck out 3 of the first 4 batters that she faced, and she's just 1 pitch away from getting another strikeout here.
Now batting, number 3, Lillian Ware.
So here's the matchup that Fast Eddie Karakis was waiting for, our sports information director. He pointed out that Lillian Ware, who's now hitting, and Josephine Allspaw, who's now pitching, were high school teammates. Wonder how many times this has happened. Two outs in the inning. Top of the 7th.
Couple of good hits, like actual hits. Yeah. Single, a bloop single left, and then an infield single.
Ware is 1 for 3 today. She had an RBI base hit in her last at bat in that 2-run fifth where Emory took the lead that they still hold. That is inside on the corner and just off the plate. 3 balls and a strike. And it's high for ball 4. So Ware with a 2-out walk. And this is where it has started and ended badly the entire game so far for Case Western Reserve. 2 outs in the inning, and they get a base runner on. Addison Kwong's at the plate. She's 2 for 3 today, and her 1 out is a line drive to right field. Kwong, a sophomore. Addison from Denver, Colorado, first-year player, or actually second-year player. In her first year, last year, she started 27 of 37 games. Counts even, a ball and a strike. Josephine Allspaw, before this appearance, had thrown 32 innings, given up 31 hits in those 32 innings. See Karen Potts talking to her in the circle. 16 runs, 15 earned. Had struck out 36 in 32 innings and walked 18. She came into a tough spot in the 5th. Gave up a hit and an RBI and just a simple ground ball back to her. It wasn't simple, it was smoked. And it was enough for a base hit to score a run. But since that time, she's been in control. She still is here with 2 outs and a runner at first. And now the count's even. If you're thinking ahead to the bottom of the 7th for Case Western Reserve, scheduled to hit are the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Steffes, Ching, and, well, it won't be Steffes. It'll be Ejercito, Ching, and Becker. Josie Henry's going to check with her catcher. I don't know if Sophia took that one off the forearm, but that made an odd sound after it hit the bat. Two balls, 2 strikes. Kwong at the plate. Allspaw on the rubber in the circle. That one right in on the hands. But Kwong was strong just to fight that one off. Kwong looked at that one, was tempted, and now the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So off and running will be Lillian Ware at first base. The dangerous hitting Kwong at the plate. Already 2 hits in 3 at-bats for Kwong. And here comes the 3-2 pitch. It's outside for ball 4. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but here we go again. 2 outs in the inning, then back-to-back walks. And now Emory with a runner in scoring position for Ella Hoyle, their senior first baseman. Paul looks down at that black band on her left wrist. Gets the signal, the pitch from her coach, and throws a strike. Number 21 is Ella Hoyle. Well, had a base hit and a run batted in that two-run first inning. Off speed, it's a beauty. Strike two. That absolutely froze Hoyle in her batter's stance. So here we go. Spartans one strike away from getting out of the inning. Sophia Becker behind the plate just does a great job of framing every pitch. I mean, that one was beautifully framed. Called a ball. Little floater that's going to fall in. Oh, Nyla Durham off the top of her glove. 2 runs are going to score. That looked like a floater that I think took off on Nyla Durham. It had a little bit more on it than she thought and that I thought, frankly. And it went off the top of her glove. And that's an error that scores 2 runs here in the 7th inning. Again, with 2 outs.
Now batting, number 12, Allie Stevenson.
So Allie Stevenson comes to the plate, and the inning is not yet over. It's now 7-3. Emory. One ball, one strike. Stevenson has a double, a run scored in 3 at-bats today. Fly ball again to center field, and this one falls in front for a base hit. It will score another run. Stevenson with her second hit, this time with a run batted in. Hoyle scores, and it's 8-3, Emory. Josie Henry's going to come out in the circle. And the Spartans are going to make a change. We'll take a timeout. We'll tell you who right after this break.
Now batting, number 16, Shivani Nantia.
So no change, just a chat. And we're back where we left off. Stevenson's on at first base. There are 2 outs in the inning. Shivani Nangia is at the plate. Shivani's got a double to her credit so far this afternoon. Double, an RBI, has been on base 2 out of 3 times. Reached on an error in her first at bat. Emory's got 12 hits. Low, ball 2. Fly ball. Ashley Miller again. How about the play in left field by the sophomore Miller? That's 2 today. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Emory puts 3 on the board in the top half, and they lead 8-3. Bottom half of the 7th for Case Western Reserve University. Last opportunity to keep this game alive. And they've got a lot of work to do. Emory scored 3 runs in the top half of the 7th. They scored all 3 with 2 outs. And they take a 5-run lead. It's 8-3.
Leading off the bottom of the 7th inning for your Spartans, number 19,
Elena Steffes back in the game and back in her spot in the batter's box. She walked in her one and only at bat today. Sydney Thune, the first-year pitcher in the circle, and she's working on a complete game. Has given up only 3 hits. She's walked 2, hit a batter, and has struck out 5. One ball, 2 strikes on Steffes. Elena's out of Findlay, Ohio. Played at Findlay High School. Played on the softball team all 4 years, as you would imagine. She was outstanding at Findlay. She set career school records. Fouls off another one. Career school records with doubles, 31, home runs, 14. She was first team all-conference 3 times, sophomore, junior, senior year. Facing a 2-2 count here, leading off the bottom of the 7th. And Thune gets her swinging and missing, so that's the first out of the inning.
Now batting, number 7, Natalie Ching.
Brings the first-year second baseman up to the plate, Natalie Ching. Natalie Ching on the day has only been up twice. That's the work that Thune has done. She has just been fantastic. This is her 3rd at bat. She flew out to center field in the second inning and hit a double to center field in the fourth. Changed from Hawaii, Honolulu. And next year, as she takes a look at strike three, the Spartans are actually going to make a trip in March to Hawaii. So 2 up, 2 down for Thune, both of them strikeouts. One swinging, one looking. And Emory's 1 out away from a win in game 1. Sydney Thune has gotten better as the game has gone on. She has struck out the last 3 batters in a row. She struck out Williams to end the 6th, and then the first 2 batters here in the 7th. Six of her 7 strikeouts have come since the 3rd inning. Becker, the catcher for Case Western, struck out looking in the 2nd and then flew out to left in her last at bat in the 5th. We'll have another game here today. The weather has been perfect. Somebody knock on wood. 2 balls and a strike. Sydney Thune on the year, 4 wins, 2 losses. Looking for her 5th win. She's 1 strike or 1 out away from that. There's the pitch. And it's fouled off the hands or the ankle or both. Becker's going to run that one off. It was 2-0 Emory at the top of the 1st inning, right from the rip. Spartans scored 2 in the bottom. Biz Berry hit a 2-strike, 2-run home run. And then Case Western Reserve took the lead in the bottom of the 2nd, 3-2. Emory tied it in the 4th, and then they took it for good in the 5th with 2 to go up 5-3, and then added 3 in the top half of the 7th to be in complete command of this game 1 of a doubleheader today. Long at bat right now for the first-year catcher, Sophia Becker. Left field line, will it stay in play? It does, and that's the end of the ball game. That wind has been deceptive today. Kept a lot of balls in play down that left field line. 7 innings in the books, 8 runs, 12 hits, no errors for Emory, 3 runs, 3 hits, an error for the home team, the Case Western Reserve University Spartans. So Emory, with the win, improves to 16-9 on the year. They're now 6-1 in UAA play. Spartans dropped to 14-8. They're now even. 2 games, 2 wins, 2 losses in UAA play. We're going to take a break, an extended timeout, and we'll be back in probably 30 minutes with Game 2 from Mather Park.